As the title suggests, I'm going to help you make the most of your hotel stay. A lot of us, this is a crapshoot. You can have a great stay someplace, you can have a terrible one, or it can fall somewhere in between. And the reason for that, even if it's the same hotel, different people, is because of many different factors. Some are outside of our control, like maintenance issues or the weather, but there are some things that are fully within our control that I'm gonna talk about tonight. I've been working in hotels and hospitality for a long time. I started in 1996 at a boutique hotel of 800 plus rooms in Union Square when I was 25. I worked up to revenue manager from front desk and reservations, eventually segued over to restaurant management. I currently work for a small hotel in my neighborhood right around the corner from my apartment as assistant manager. It's a very small hotel, only 23 rooms. So from the outside, as a guest and a traveler, I've seen quite a lot. And from the inside, I've seen how a lot of these things work and how we all kind of shoot ourselves in the foot by not following certain unspoken, not really rules, but things that I would like to tell you about. I'm going to follow the pattern of threes, or the rule of threes. There are three things. It was very difficult for me to figure out which three are the most important. But they are: book directly with the hotel, be nice, and ask. And I'll explain these as we go along. The first one, book directly with a hotel. This is very complicated, and I'm going to try to bring this down into something that is easily digestible. But there are a lot of ways to book a hotel room. You can call the hotel directly, you can use their website, you can use a third party like Expedia or Booking.com. This is where people go wrong from the very beginning, because we tend to think, or a lot of people tend to think, that hotels are up to screw you. That's the first thought. So I'm not going to talk to the hotel. They're just going to give me the highest rate. They're going to give me a crappy room, and they're not going to treat me well. I'm going to go to Expedia, and I'm going to get a cheaper rate for the same room. I'm putting that in quotes. The same room, and I'm just going to do it my way, and it's going to make me feel better because Expedia's on my side. They're going to treat me right. It's actually the complete opposite way. Expedia is a middleman. They want your money, and they want money from the hotel. Once they've got that from you, they are done. The process here, the reason why booking directly with the hotel makes more sense is because you're going to the hotel. When you get there, if there's an emergency, if you need a refund, you need to leave early, the hotel staff can help you right away. You paid them directly. When you go through Expedia, you're paying Expedia to book a room for you at the hotel. Which means if you have trouble, you have to go back to Expedia for a refund, for any changes. I know people say, well, I'm right here in the hotel, why can't you help me? It's because you didn't pay the hotel, you paid Expedia. There's a whole relationship between the guest, third party, and the hotel that gets blown up if you don't go directly with the hotel. The other thing is fees. A lot of people think that the hotel's gonna hide fees. It is illegal to hide fees, but you can trick people with them. The hotel has to put it on the website right there with the room, but Expedia can drag you through the whole booking process, and right before you pay for it, hit you with a resort fee or a booking fee or baggage fee. They can also misrepresent the hotel in the sense that they could say that there's parking included and innocently claim that they didn't know that it isn't. Book direct, please. For those of us who are at the hotel desk, when you show up with a confirmation, we love to see that you did it with us and that your information is accurate. The second one, it makes me so sad to actually have to say it, be nice. Be nice. When you show up at the hotel, we don't have a lot to go on with you. We have your reservation. Sometimes people make a note, hey, I need a higher room or quiet space, but that's all. We have your name and a phone number and email. We don't really know what you're like. And so that first encounter, that first interaction is gonna tell us a lot about you. We want you to have a good stay. People at hotels don't take these jobs to treat you poorly. We like people. We want to be nice to you. We want you to be nice to us. If you approach the desk, hi, my name is Bob. I'm so happy to be here. This is great. I'm on vacation. Man, we light up because now we know something about you. We know how to make you happy. If you're not a business traveler, you've told us you're here for vacation. Man, we want to do what we can. Sometimes people will come up to the desk. and they just drop, their ID. Smith, you told us right now that you don't want us to interact with you. We're also not going to give you a free upgrade because we know you don't care, and you don't care about us. It really is a two-way street. We do treat you well from the beginning. It's not like you have to treat us first or treat us well first, but if you treat us poorly, it's kind of off the table. The third one, ask. Ask. So my suggestion here, every time you book a room somewhere, especially if you do it online, there is a small note field. Use it. Use the note field for anything. I don't care what it is, but put something down there. You want a quiet room, you want a view, you want to be in the back. Some people don't do it because it feels like they're being demanding. Oh, I don't want to, it makes me look like I'm high maintenance. This helps us because we assign rooms the date of arrival. If you told us what you want, maybe 3-4% of people do. You're going to get what you want. We can't always do it. It is still a request, but chances are you're going to get what you want by using that note field. So let's go over that again. Book directly with a hotel. That immediately establishes a relationship. That goes through your stay all the way to checkout. Be nice. And the third one, I've already forgotten. Ask. Exactly. Ask. Ask for anything. You don't need to be high maintenance, but if you ask for something, we're going to give it to you. Before I open this up to Q&A, I would like to close with one thing. So, yes, sometimes you do all of these things, and the hotel still drops the ball. And you have every right to get on TripAdvisor and give them a terrible review because you gave us every opportunity to do it right and we failed. But on your way out, please return that car key because it's not a souvenir. Anyone have any questions about any of those things or anything about hotels? John?
I had a question about booking directly, and this might not apply to the hotel where you work, but what specifically do you mean by book directly? If the hotel is, say, a Marriott hotel, is it sufficiently direct to go to the Marriott site, find the specific hotel that I'm interested in, and book it through Marriott? Or do I actually have to literally call the hotel directly and make the reservation with them?
That is actually a great question. Booking with a large hotel like that can be daunting because each hotel doesn't necessarily have its own website. You're right, you would go to the Marriott site and then do a search for this specific hotel and then just hope you're getting the right one. I would recommend that people actually call the hotel and say, hey, I'm on your site. Is this the correct place? And check the URL. With any hotel, there are a lot of these third parties that are not as reputable as Expedia or Booking.com, and they're gonna try to trick you. You'll look at the URL and it'll say reservations.booking.marriott.something else. That's not Marriott's site. www.marriott.com/Bermuda. That's their site. People will always call me and say, I'm on your site, but I don't see this and I don't see that. And they describe it and I know they're not actually on our site. So booking through something like Marriott, and with anyone, I suggest verify that you're actually in the right spot. And yes, that is how you do it. You go to Marriott and then sort of trickle down to the property you're looking for. Hopefully that answers your question. Maddie had her hand up first. She'll come back.
I really like the portion about asking because I usually feel bad to ask for something at a hotel. I'm curious, what's the most wild thing you've been ever asked for during your experience working at a hotel?
That's good. At the hotel I'm at now, not a lot. It's very small. It's intimate. They look at me right in the face. Larger hotels, I would say that the questions we get are usually unreasonable. It's typically somebody who has booked thinking with their wallet only and expecting to get something far greater or grander. And those requests always come out of nowhere. They're never in the no field. They wait until they're in front of you. This story just sticks with me because it was so traumatic. Years ago, I worked the morning shift. I still work the morning shift. And I came in one day and there was a note from the evening shift telling me that a guest had checked in the day before and she was demanding a room with 2 beds. She had a confirmation with 2 beds and I had to do it. And I looked at the reservation, and it was one that was booked through a travel agent who then booked with Expedia, who then booked the hotel. So there are 3 different confirmation letters here, and not a single one of them actually jived. It was an unreasonable request, but we still bent over backwards to get it done. And we all felt really good about it until we checked in and asked, how is everything? And the answer was, it's too little too late. And that was a learning experience for me, because it did tell me that not always honoring someone's request is a good thing. And it sort of, you learn how to measure how far you should go. Because we did have to displace a couple of the guests for that. But people do ask for strange things. Sometimes people don't even ask, they just passively say, hey, it's a celebration. Maybe if you put champagne in the room. Like, well, let me just pull that out of my pocket for you. Thanks, man.
That's a good answer. Actually, it ties into the be nice part. So it all
Exactly.
works together. It's actually very topical for me, because I'm currently trying to plan a trip, and I spent a lot of time last night, probably too much time into the late night, doing hotel research.
Sure.
And I didn't know both and I knew to be nice, but I didn't know the ask, and I didn't know that you should book directly through the hotel. I have a couple questions, but the main one is, what is in like the realm of, what's in the ballpark of a good ask? Like, what's something that I should ask when I'm booking these that actually might be honored? And keep in mind, I'm probably trying to be on the budget friendly side.
Oh yeah. Honestly, ask for what you want. Ask for anything. Some people, like you said, are afraid to ask because they don't want to establish themselves as a problem guest before they even arrive. But that's not how the hotel looks at it. We see this as a further refinement of getting to know you. People will ask for a view. People ask for things that simply can't be honored. But we still try to define the next best thing. So, hey, can we have a view? Well, our hotel's 3 floors tall in the middle of a city, so no. But we'll give you a nice room in the front that gets sun in the morning and stuff like that. So don't aim super high and be unreasonable, but ask for what you want. People will say, I want a quiet room. Sometimes people ask for things that they don't even really know that they want. Well, I'm going to the hospital and I'm not really sure what I need when it comes to the room. And that's fine. We'll say on the lower floor, something quiet, whatever. So if you have it in mind, put it down there, because we can't reach them. Anybody else? Anton, you've been smiling at me the whole time.
So I just wanted to thank you. These are really 3 good ones. I just want to say that I learned the first one the hard way when I needed to change my reservation, and I booked it through intermediary.
Yeah.
And since then, I'm always, especially if it's a smaller place, I will go and look up at their site.
Yeah, good.
Oftentimes.
Yeah, that's something I would reiterate many times, is double check the URL. Always check the URL. You want the name of the hotel at the very beginning, not at the end. To speak to that fact too, something I cut out of the speech and I was hoping somebody would ask. There was a guest that showed up with a confirmation letter 2 or 3 steps removed from the hotel. She had, and this doesn't happen often, but it does happen, booked through a travel agent or a broker of some sort. And there is something called, I know Expedia uses them and somebody else, there's like the Expedia, it's an expanded affiliate network. And these are individuals that Expedia has allowed to have access to their rates and so on, functioning almost as a travel agent. But they're just individual kind of one-off folks. The trouble with them is they really are trying to profit from you. So this person checked in, she had a confirmation letter and everything. It's something like a $500 or $600 room. And we don't have that, and it was a king size bed, and we don't have that either. And she was furious. There is an inclination that guests have to blame the hotel for everything. Sometimes the hotel is wrong, but often when these cases you have 2 or 3 layers of people between you and the hotel, they're telling you what you want to hear and they're charging you for it. Then you pay them thinking you're paying the hotel. They get the cheapest room they can from the hotel and pocket the difference. And what do they care when you show up and you don't get the room you want? And it's so difficult being at the desk, and you see this happen and the person behind the desk is angry at you, and you really want to explain without coming across defensive, and without insulting them in their intelligence. Book direct. I'll say it again, I'll say it like a million times. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you work for a company that has their own travel agent, or they have a third party themselves they're contracted to use.
I also noticed difference in availability. When you look through Booking and when you look directly, there's different numbers of rooms that are free.
Yeah.
And you realize that there's two different layers to that.
Things are a little better now, where it's generally a very real-time measurement of inventory. I can see somebody book something on Expedia and it shows up on my screen, which is really nice. Or Expedia will call me and they'll cancel it and then I'll see it disappear from the screen. So that's pretty great. Another level or element of that is where the money really goes. When you pay the hotel or book with the hotel, the money goes to the hotel. When you book through Expedia, money does go to the hotel, but Expedia charges us a commission. So a $200 room, for example, we would get $200. Expedia will, if you book through Expedia, Expedia will charge you $200. The hotel will get 110, and Expedia pockets 90. So it's makes it hard, especially when you're back in the hotel again and you're trying to make changes to say even get a receipt, because we don't want, well, Expedia doesn't want you to see how much they actually paid for your room. You paid $200, Expedia paid 110. It just feels a little, I don't know how that feels. John?
I didn't realize the questions. I have this thing. I love staying in hotels. Not every hotel stay has been wonderful, but I would say that the majority of hotel stays, I'm delighted to be in a hotel. I think it's just the freedom from my stupid stuff and my schedule that I just love it. I wanted to ask you, what's your favorite thing about working in the hotel business?
My favorite thing about working in hotels? Honestly, it's actually working with people and meeting people I don't know. I love that even when I'm traveling. So people come in and they give me a reason to be nice to them and they know my name. I love when someone checks in and I give them my name and say, if you need anything, just let us know. The next morning they come down like, hey Derek, morning. I'm like, all right, I made somebody's day. I really love that. And when I travel, I bring that with me. I think I went to Hawaii for a weekend just to get away. I didn't leave the hotel, I just sat in the sort of plaza area outside and just talked to people. And it's amazing how many people want that. Very few people just want to be alone. And very few people check into the hotel and don't want to have some connection to somebody. But you know, those people are around. But that's what I like the most. I think we have time for one more. Yeah.
Do you have any tips on like getting a better deal on when to book? Like, is there any sort of thing like X time in advance, book during the night, book like whatever kind of tips you have?
That's a great question because rates at hotels change every day. And it just depends on what's happening in the city, what time you're calling, like how many months out. I would say for San Francisco, I would call 2 to 3 months away in general. There's still gonna be some availability unless there's a concert in Woolgate Park, in which case it's gonna be so expensive you don't even want it. And I'm trying to think of another good answer to that one. I think that brings up a question that sometimes people ask about asking for discounts. So I go back to requests, ask for discount, ask if there are any specials, ask if anything's going on. We sit on some pretty active coupon codes that we can use for anything at any time. Again, if someone is nice to me on the phone, let me see if I can take 10% off. Well, I can, so I'm going to, but let me see if I can do that for you. So ask. Also, sometimes maybe don't ask. If you're booking yourself, just type in AAA, the coupon code, and see if it takes it. Because sometimes it does.
Just AAA?
Yeah, there's the AAA rates, there's senior rates, there are all sorts of things. You don't always get them from hotels, but a lot of hotels have coupon codes baked into the system that even the employees don't know about. So if you're booking and it says, you know, coupon code, discount code, just type 3 A's and see if something happens. It does work. All right, I think that's it. Unless there's a really quick question, we can wrap that up. All right, well, thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.